Live already. So hello everybody. We are here with Shimmy. Can you introduce yourself a little bit before we
Sure.
start?
So I'm Shimmy. I'm 34 years old, and I'm a freelance developer. And I love C# and .NET, and I love XAML. And Uno makes the best out of all of these because it lets me take my XAML and C# skills and bring it anywhere. So here I am.
Yeah, I'm happy you're here. And our goal today will be to start work on a new event for Uno Platform, and it's gonna be PreviewKeyDown and PreviewKeyUp. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Let's
Perfect. So
let's hack the hell out of this thing.
yeah, we actually realized it's not going to be that simple as we thought, as it's not just event that's coming before key down and key up, but it's actually tunneling instead of bubbling, so it's going to be more complicated, but we will do as much as possible in the 2 hours we have. All right?
Sure. Yep, let's do this.
So let's get started.
Okay, so I'm going to launch my Visual Studio here, and I'm going to use this solution, Uno.UI WASM only solution filter, because we're going to be working on WASM. And what I've done so far to make it work was a few things that I think it's important to take note of. So after following the instructions on Uno website, in the docs website over here, sorry, it's in contributing to Uno, building and debugging Uno. So I took this path. So first of all, I cloned my repo. And because I have .NET 5 installed, one of the latest version, I had problems with building it. So I had to change this file. 1 second. Had to change the global.json file. And I also had to put it in a short path, which also gave me problems. So I just cloned it on Uno, on the main website. 1 second, please. Yeah, okay, we're fine. I changed the global.json. That was Jerome's advice on the Discord chat. I added this guy over here. So we're enforcing it to build with .NET Core 3 instead of 5. That solved a lot of issues. And then I followed the instructions from here. So I edited this file as instructed here, and it built no problem. And here we are.
Awesome. So this is so we have functional running. Can you start the sample steps just so we see that it's running and how it looks?
Sure.
So the
sample steps F5.
Sample step is basically the home of all our UI tests and sample pages. So that's where we spend a lot of time, most of our testing time. So let's see. It takes a while to load. It's
yeah, it might be a good idea if you give me a little tour here, because I'm myself not very familiar here in the samples app and anywhere in the code. So treat me as a beginner, please.
Yeah, sure. Will do. So I'll wait for it to run. So yeah, basically the samples app is contains a library of different categories, and we have a special category for each of the controls we support, and then we have some categories for different APIs, even non-UI APIs like sensors and so on. So you can, if you go into, you can choose any of those categories on the left. Something nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Auto
And if you
suggest
click on
box. It's my favorite control.
Yeah. And does it actually? Yeah, here it is. So yeah, we're in debug mode, so it's a little bit sluggish as compared to release builds. But as you can see, there's the auto suggest box working here. Yeah, so basically most of these pages are then automated. So UI tests are actually performing automated tests on these pages and verifying the results. So yeah, so that's this. If you go to the menu again and back, we can even find something like UI control maybe, or routed events. That should be it. Routed events above a little bit. Yeah, here. That's it. Routed events, and that might be relevant to us because these are like maybe the test page could be what we need. I'm not sure if these are just pointer events or it includes the key events as well. I will see. All right. Okay. So yeah. So you can try typing something maybe in the box. I'm not sure how this page actually works, but okay. So it seems like this is tracking the key down events somehow, or key up as well.
Let's see. Down, up, down, up. Oh, okay. The key, the big K is the down event, and the small K is the up event.
Oh, cool. So basically, maybe this is the place where we could do our tests, like verification if things work properly. Because this illustrates the bubbling and bubbling as well. So
yeah, I see.
Sounds good.
Because this triggers an event in all parents, whereas this doesn't trigger only in itself.
Yeah.
So it's not tunneling; it's only bubbling.
Cool. So probably this page is what we are looking for our tests. But we will still anyway first look into the code more and analyze things, how it works, and how actually the key events from the browser get into Uno Platform, because that's gonna be more interesting probably.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, should I close this?
Yeah, you can close this, and we will see. All right. So let's probably go to, I'm not sure where actually the events UI element events for key down and key up are implemented, but we can search for it, yes, like this. You can search for UI element, and you can also search for key down. Yes, so this is already implemented, and but these aren't.
Yeah, so let me search for the implemented one, see where it's located, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, they'll probably move these to the implemented part, but
maybe I have a better idea. Let me try to see all the partials of UI element.
Oh,
Where did he go? Whoopsie. Okay.
all right.
So we have.
My guess is that it's gonna be UI element dot routed events.
Oh, okay.
That's the last one in the list now, or pre-last, yeah, this one. Oh, interesting. So, okay, that is a lot of docs within the code.
I'm not sure all of them are concerning us.
But this could be interesting. Like this is
Yeah.
Talking about the bubbling. So
I think currently we have the key up and key down, and what we want to do is split up the event to 2 events. So instead of one event fired from our managed key up event and key down event, we're going to split it into 2 events when we are already in our managed code. So what we get from the native from the UI is only the key up or key down, one single event, and we split it up by ourselves. So it's not a native event.
Yes, it seems reasonable. I'm just thinking about whether if we do this like that and then we handle the event like in the preview phase, then if you have UWP and you handle the preview key down event, then the output of your key press will not be actually there, I think. Maybe, can you...
I'm not sure I understand what you mean.
Can you open a new instance of Visual Studio with just UWP blank application so we can try things out there?
Sure.
That's usually helping because it's a faster cycle.
Yeah. What did you... I'm not sure. What did you say now?
Yeah, new project and then some blank UWP app. Oh. Okay. And then we will... I would write... I would put there a text box and then handle the key down and preview key down events just to see what happens.
Okay, sounds good. Okay, so that's going to be our input. And let's have a log, right?
Yes.
Text log. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Ouch.
Same. So now for each of these we would output. We can make it similar to the app. In the samples app, just output a ladder for each of those.
Yeah, right. Okay, sounds good. So let me get rid of this one. Or Oh, I misnamed it.
Oh, I didn't notice that even. So output. Maybe you need /r/n because on Windows it's both. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Actually.
Yeah.
Log e.key.
Sounds good. Why is it complaining? Two-string
Yeah, because
probably.
it's not a key. It's not a.
Yeah. And the same thing everywhere. That's nice. That makes it more. Makes it easier.
If it works, yeah.
Yeah. One more thing. You are not outputting the name there in the log method.
Right.
Oh, maybe not here, but on the after the rn, because this is the previous content. Like the current part should probably be.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Forgot that I had current.
Actually, maybe it's fine if the current is at the end, so we are adding lines before, like, because we are more interested in things that are recent, not the old ones.
Oh, that's a good point.
Because they will then scroll out of you and.
Right, that's a good point. So in that case, maybe. Okay, that won't be necessary.
All right. That should be fine. And in the XAML code, I think you have the text box above, or the text box above the text box, so I would put it below so that it doesn't move the text box.
Right, yeah, when it expands.
Yeah. Because it's gonna.
I think it will move anyway. I mean, it will move like this or like this. Yeah, whatever. I mean, yeah. Okay, let me launch this. Let's see, yeah. Ta-da!
Oh, what is it? No matches selected. What does it mean?
Put key down.
That's pretty weird. That's pretty weird. Can you click on the error? What is the actual error there?
No overload takes key event handler.
Double click on the thing. It should take us. Yeah, okay. I see what's going on. If you close this.
Key event handler.
It's actually, you have to use the Microsoft UI XAML input as we are in WinUI now.
Right.
So it's probably that's probably the cause. Not sure why it generated Windows UI instead of Microsoft.
But it's not. It's key event handler.
Yeah, that's it. I think it. Yeah.
This error is still there. Line 25.
Yeah, we have to recompile because it's this is for generated code.
Yeah. Okay, that was the issue.
Actually, it's weird that it doesn't generate it automatically, but it's still beta, so let's say it's the cause. All right. This should be better. Okay.
So we had a preview key down, key down, preview key up, and key up.
Yeah.
Let's try another one. Shift A. I'm gonna press Shift A, right? So we have.
Preview key down. That makes sense, probably.
From here, preview key for Shift, preview down for A, and then preview key up for A, preview key up for Shift, and preview key up. Very, straightforward.
Yeah.
What if I do like Alt 4 to generate a special character? So where were we?
Control menu.
Yeah, Control is like the right Alt, I guess. See, Alt. Yeah, menu is the left Alt, and Control is the right Alt. So we have Control. Did I do Control? What is Control?
That's weird.
Yeah.
I would expect both Alts to be the same.
Oh, it's a horizontal panel. It's a horizontal stack panel. Okay, let me add.
What I'm interested in is what happens when you handle one of those events. It's gonna be weird, probably. Yes, that's also useful. Right. Yeah, again.
I can live with that.
All right. Oh, that seems good.
Let me see what happens when I just hit the euro sign. So I'm gonna hit my right Alt, like Alt GR, right? Plus 5, Alt 5. My current keyboard is the US International keyboard, I think. Yeah, United States International keyboard.
It's so weird. So it's control menu, really.
Yeah, what's funny is that when I hit, let me see again. I think that if I hit the Alt by itself, okay, so here I'm just gonna press only the right Alt.
Right.
Okay, now let me press only the left Alt. Haha. So yeah, probably the right Alt has a special functionality that it adds a control key. We have to take note of it, actually. Because I guess we're gonna have to implement. I don't know. I mean, for our task, really, what we have to do is just split the events, and we're fine. because whatever the current implementation is, this is how it should be, just split it up into 2 events. But it's interesting if it in Uno, when you press like right Alt, if you have control and menu just like the same as you would in UWP. That's an interesting thing to check.
Agreed. Well, one thing I would like to check is what happens if you handle one of the events. What happens if you, in the preview keydown event, if you do e.handled and set it to true? Because that should mean that none of the other events will be handled, will be triggered.
Right.
Just run it like this and we'll see. I think this will mean that it will just stop at this point. Oh, okay.
Oh, it only handles the
key down.
Yeah.
All right. Oh, makes sense probably. That makes sense.
That's good that's good to check. That was a very, very good point. Yeah.
But as you can see, now the text box is empty, which is also important to know, because that means that the output of the key press is not displayed.
Because it didn't continue to the actual key down.
Yes.
I think that actually the reason for the preview key down event is so that you can handle it.
Yeah, so you can prevent output. So that's something that we'll probably have to handle, because that's a problem. Because we currently have the key down that's too late in the life cycle. And if you have WebAssembly, then it's some kind of on key down event. And we will need to actually prevent it from happening.
Yeah, that's a good point. And the funny thing what I see here, you see, is that we have a key down here. I handle the key down.
And the output is still there.
And the output is still there. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the
Let's try again.
That's the trick.
Yep.
So that's probably
it's only the preview that we have to take care of the handled and like kill it off.
Seems so.
Yeah. Let's see what happens if we put it here. Preview key up. So if we put it here, the key down, the key up event should not be raised, I guess. Let's just verify that.
But we should see the output. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
All right. Okay, that's something to think about.
Yeah, we have the character. There is a third event.
Because this means that we will have to go with some platform-specific part, as we will have to prevent the JavaScript event from finalizing.
Right.
So we have to intercept it, send the preview key down, and then based on if it's handled, then end the execution or continue.
I wonder if there is. I don't think there is a way in JavaScript to to cancel, to do e.handled and a similar thing. And you're gonna have to cancel it.
There is e.prevent default or something, and if you do that, then it doesn't actually finish processing the key down. You can try it there is a test. Is there a test page somehow?
Usually there is here.
But it seems it's not here this time.
Okay.
Oh, we have some questions in the chat. Yeah. Actually, Shinar Buske says that handle property will be only evaluated after all the preview events have been completed. And that is true. Handling it will only stop the subsequent events and not the methods within the events. Yes.
Yeah.
That's right. Right. Yeah, and that's why we need probably the bubbling and tunneling to work properly. But I think as a first version, we could just make it to execute the preview key down first, even with bubbling, even though it's not the correct way, but let it bubble, check for the handled, and then based on that trigger key down or not. That seems like a reasonable trade-off for now, at least.
Yeah, we have to like find a way to interact with the native side and tell it to cancel the event if it's handled.
Yeah, we'll have to look into where the key down event is handled in the code. Right, so we have to input.
So should I go here? Let's find.
Yeah, it should be in Uno UI.wasm.
This one?
No. In Uno UI.wasm project, there is. It has to be in JavaScript. So if you go to this TS folder, yes, that's the right folder. And we will have to find the place where it's handled, but I'm not really sure where that is. Maybe we can search for it. Can you search for on key down in the JavaScript files? Or actually TypeScript, TS. Oh, so, or is it just key down probably in JavaScript?
Oh.
Oh, so nothing.
So.
Interesting. That's surprising.
I wonder what happens here. Add key handler. That's like our native side, right?
Yeah.
DOM event name.
Right. So that's it. So it registers the key down from the managed code.
That makes the job in a way easier for us, but in a way harder because we still have to interact.
Because we need to stay inside the handler, and based on the result of the preview key down handled, we'll have to prevent the key down from happening, and even the JavaScript handler to finish. So,
yeah. Yeah, it is a little tricky.
That's a little tricky. Yeah. Well. And what does the register event handler do? Just to see what it actually does there. Like on the line 623. Yeah, so if you go inside, what does it do? As registration.
Okay, so we have a registrar. We have a dictionary that holds all the registration. What does a registration look like? An event registration has an owner, event name, event extractor.
And what does the constructor do? Does it do anything, or is it just a container?
Yeah, let me see.
Oh, so it subscribes on the event.
No registration event names. Oh, like so. For these, we're not doing anything.
And you have a register event on view. Huh. So this is the code that actually registers it. Can you go inside the register event on view method? Yeah, so this triggers JavaScript. Actually, there is a command register event on view.
This is like the TypeScript, if I get it right,
yes,
right?
Yes. It's actually evaluated.
Window manager, current register event on view. This is window manager, probably. That's our guy.
Yeah. So internal.
That gets the element. Event extractor.
All right. So, that's interesting. It actually, as you can see there in the dispatch event, there is dispatch event, which probably dispatches the event to C#, and if it's handled, then it stops propagation.
Nice.
So that's fine. So they have already done this for us, basically. So this is good. Now we just have to make sure that we do it properly on our side. That's interesting.
Right. I mean, so we have a registered event here of key down, right? But in essence, it's the really what's registered is a preview key down event, because we are going to, I mean, what we would have to do according to what we originally planned, if we're going to take this path, is that, where is this? Yeah, is that we're going to change this key down and key up to preview key down and preview key up. And if we get a key down on
wait, not these. These are the JavaScript names.
Yeah, but I meant like we're going to, of course, but
this one.
Okay, this one, yeah. If there is like a preview. Yet it's not even there.
Yet defined, but it's reserved there.
Yeah, but that's like the direction, right? If we're going to take this path.
Yes.
Seems and so. Then I mean, I wonder how we do it then. Okay, so let's say that we got the preview key. We got it as a preview down. Now what? So now we continue here on our side.
It's a bit tricky because we don't. Because sometimes people just register preview key down, sometimes both, sometimes just key down. So yes, we have to make sure that it is registered properly, that it's registered just once for the specific type. Down and up.
Yeah, I think it could make sense that we keep this intact. We keep this as it is, and we let it think that it handles a key down and key up event, where in essence it handles a preview key up and preview key down event. Hence, making sure that the handled event is cancelled out. Okay, and at the same time, well,
we can start with some basics. You know, we don't have to. We cannot probably implement the whole thing. But
okay,
I would start doing like for first. I would add the preview key down and key up to the routed event flag, because it's gonna definitely be something we need.
Yeah. Okay, so let's just summarize what we're going to do. So we're going to change this to PreviewKeyDown and PreviewKeyUp, and the actual registration of the event, this is going to stay the same, but the handler of the event, like the raise event here, will be different. We're going to mess around with what this does. We're going to have to find a way, like maybe here, or like what actually happens. Okay, let's start with just adding these two values.
All right. Right. Oh, it's reserved there already. Nice.
Nice.
That's nice. So for now, I would do just these two and don't care about the character received.
Yeah.
Focus on these two. Okay. We cannot actually replace it completely. I would create a flag that says is key down registered, and then do the registration for both, like to prevent two registrations, but either key down and or preview key down registers it. So
maybe let's take a step back and like realize what this guy does. So
this is called for every routed event that's being
add handler.
Yeah, so that happens when someone adds a handler to a specific UI element.
And key handler is key event.
Okay, what does this do? What does this do? Okay, so,
is key event.
I'd probably check.
We're gonna have to flag and is key. So is key. We're gonna have to add these two.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's add them in order, maybe.
Okay.
Before I move down, I want to make sure. Yeah, okay, we're done. I'm not sure these are included. We should change these too, right?
We should update this as well.
Yeah.
But what's the value?
It shouldn't be very hard to find out. Yeah, actually, it's not defined. Yeah.
It's like each.
Want to do it now?
binary.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so key down. Let's try to figure out what this stands for.
I think it's just.
You know what? I think it's already here. Let's see. This is 0. This means like the default. Oh, we have two defaults.
Oh, that's...
Two defaults. Like this is nothing. This does nothing. Yeah, how big is this? This is an int.
Wait,
it's a U long. Because it's a U long. Yeah. Okay.
It actually seems that these are just, if you do 1 and shift left, then you just move a single bit. It seems like there's too many ones in this, actually.
Why? No, it's a U long.
Yeah, I know. The ones.
So there are
already
2, 3,
9 ones.
And where?
Like these numbers 1. There are 9 ones in there. Even though we actually have just 4 different flags, and each flag is number one. Like this is number one on 12th position from the right. It's on the 13th.
Yep, but this is 13, right? Okay, so this is 13, and this is 15.
So it should be 4 ones, starting from the 13th position from the right. Basically, it seems like there's too many here.
Yeah, it might be that, let me see, this is 1, this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. And it has 8. What I'm guessing is that these PreviewKeyUp and PreviewKeyDown are already here.
But there is more even than that, because this is just 4 items.
14. So we have 4, 8, 12.
13, 14.
13, 14, 15, 16. And this is 13 and 15. So I guess this one are included. I mean, probably this is like the raw UWP values, which already include these, I guess. So we don't have to change this guy.
It doesn't seem it has to be updated. There's even more ones than we.
Look how they did it here. So we can actually see how. It doesn't.
It doesn't show you.
Yeah, it doesn't show you.
Well, I think it's okay. This actually the value. The important thing is the value, and that we have corrected because it's just the flags.
Yeah, hopefully we don't mess up anything here, because now that there are more events,
that should be fine. I think it cannot overlap because the numbers are different.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so we have.
Yeah, but for example, consider here. Sorry.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay, thank you. So, for example, we have the isKey event, yeah?
Yeah.
So, isKey event, over here. So, over here, they developed it as if flag is key down, else it's key up.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't know where else we have something like that, but in what we just did, if we have similar code to this, we're going to screw it up. Because it's if else, it's not if else if. It's not explicit. And now that we added values, we might screw up stuff.
Yes, I understand. Yes, that's a problem.
Let me see how many 13 references we have to this.
But actually, this is gonna show you just the WebAssembly ones. It's not gonna show you other platforms because you are in a WebAssembly only.
Right.
I mean, we can just focus on WebAssembly. Then the other things
we changed.
ironed out.
So this guy is shared to all platforms,
yes,
right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But we cannot do it differently. You have to do it like this. So.
Yeah. Okay.
There's no other way. And actually, they even check for the KeyUp event in the else branch. So at least partially that's covered here.
Oh, they throw an event, right?
Yeah.
Not a keyboard event.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're gonna have to handle this. So the key handler comes from managed code, right? This is the routed event. This is the routed event, like the registered, the dependency object that register routed event.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, that's a registered event.
Okay. The handler is like the delegate.
Mm-hmm.
Indeed.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah, it is. It is. That's probably
Okay.
the method that handles. And
so I guess what we have to do is do something like PreviewKeyDown. change this to preview key down and this to preview key up, and then add and add handlers, new handlers to key down and key up to follow up.
I would suggest doing it because when you register preview key down or key down, in both cases you just want to have one native handler, like one WebAssembly handler for both of them, because you will do the splitting on the managed side. So because of that, I would suggest doing like if routed event flag is equal to key down or is equal to
Where are
key
you?
down. Like in the if.
Repeat the last few words you said.
So in the if statement,
Please.
I would do if keep what is there and add or routed event flag equals preview key down. Because for both of these, you want to register key down on the JavaScript side.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I hope so. Yeah.
No, like you mean that for both key down and preview key down, we want to register this event?
Yes.
So you're gonna have like two events for each for the preview and for the.
Actually, no. I would I would also create a flag, a Boolean flag that will tell us if someone already registered the key down event, so that we don't register it twice.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a plan.
Just to prevent it from having two handlers.
Okay. Okay. I don't know exactly how we're gonna do it. Like how we var down flags equals routed event flag dot key down or preview key down. Let me switch the order. And then var up flags equals and change this to down events, down flags has flag. Someone went to sleep.
As flag. All right.
Okay. Here is what we're gonna do our stuff. Okay. And here is gonna be else if, right?
Yeah, and then we will move the exception to the else, to one more else.
Right.
All right. So now we need to prevent duplicate registration. Yeah, sorry. That's one more thing. Yeah, we can remove this.
We're gonna take care of this soon.
Right. Yeah, just you can put there DOM event name equals key up, just a simple one, because not here but in the else if, because we won't need the logic there.
Right. I mean, we're gonna end up needing the logic for preview and to differentiate between preview and non-preview. Yeah, but I guess for the moment.
I think we will even not need it here, because in this place we are just registering the native event, so we don't really care which one is it.
Okay. I'll throw exception. Okay, now this is fine because it gets a value in any case.
And now if you go to register event handler, does it down there in the to do method that's called, does it actually prevent multiple registrations or not? Oh, it seems.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems so. So that's actually good, because we don't have to even check if it's registered already.
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's very good.
Okay.
All right.
So now what's going to happen is that we're going to have two events coming in for two key up events. We register two key up in the native, in the browser. We register two JavaScript events, two key up events, one for key up and one for preview key up.
No, we register just one, because this takes care of preventing the duplicate registration.
So which one is the event name? Is the native name?
No, that's a JavaScript name.
Yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
that
Okay.
should be
So
fine.
it's the key down and key up here. So it's never going to be registered twice. Oh, nice.
Yes, should be the
Beautiful.
case. I hope so. Yeah, it seems fine.
Yeah.
Seems fine to me.
So, okay. So what's our next phase? So we have now.
Oh, just
need to
one
implement
problem.
this guy.
There is one problem there, and that is that the routed event. Yeah, because it registers just once, but the routed event will be just one of those two, the one that's registered first. We'll have to somehow clean it up. Probably I would say raising the preview key down. We have some chat information here. So the JavaScript key events should not be subscribed during the managed key event subscription. Shouldn't JS events be subscribed during loaded event of UI element? Actually, Uno Platform doesn't register the events automatically, only when it's actually needed, so that there is less event registrations and it's cheaper for the browser to process. That's why it's done here in the managed code, not in the JavaScript part. That's the reason.
What's funny is that we
yeah.
only have the native event in the dictionary here, and I was thinking like maybe what we wanted to do is like in our event handlers also have some way to tell ourselves whether this event was originally registered as a preview event or as a regular event, right?
I'm not sure if if it's not just easier to register just the preview one and don't care about the, in the if you go back to the place where we register this, or where we call this. So if we just, in the if statement, if we just set routed event equals preview key down, for example, and in the other
like
case,
it was before, yeah,
because previously there was just one. What do you mean? What do you mean here?
Just gonna move back to the old code.
Not necessarily. Can you? Yeah.
This.
Not necessarily this.
This side.
Not necessarily this. I don't mean this. No? But what I mean is that we are passing down there in the race event on line 630, or not 28 now, 628. There is race event, and it takes routed event as a parameter, right? and we need this to be the preview one, so that it's always triggered first, and then we handle the other one automatically.
Yeah. So in that case, we need to change this.
We need to basically in the if force the routed event to be equal to preview key down. Like override
Which
it.
if over here?
Yeah, in the if you go to line 615, so on that line now after it, like if you add new line,
yeah,
I would do the here routed event equals. So I was just
I'm not sure I follow where we're headed. Like, what's our goal?
Routed what is actually routed event there?
Yeah, so that it's like tunneling and bubbling.
I mean, is this an object or?
The routed event, what I'm guessing, the routed, like, what is this guy?
Yeah.
It's the actual event, like text box.
Oh, right. So it's like, instance of the event. Huh.
It's the static.
Right.
I think it's this guy. Like this one.
Yeah, this one. Yeah, right. So we cannot change it. You can replace it with anything else. That's the problem.
But you know what? It's easy. Routed event. You can actually check which event it is. I mean, you can probably go say event and maybe you can find out which event it is.
Well, we know that from the flag.
Yeah.
And just a tricky situation that we need to register only one handler on the native side, while having it raise to two handlers basically for both the key down and preview key downs. That's the tricky part of this thing.
How about when we like raise the event here?
Yeah, let's go there. What it does, because that's
So we can over here try to see. Yeah. Okay. We need to learn that map on top of the page to some extent, I guess. Let me keep this open here. We can sneak into one of these. I mean, maybe I'm learning it too fast, or like I'm moving too fast ahead. But we can like sneak into these, and double up.
Yeah, just reading the chat that we can handle the JS key events internally and invoke the preview events. Once they're finished, we can invoke the others. The problem here is that we have to register it from the managed side. So
and also that I don't think, maybe I'm wrong. I don't know I'm not sure if here we know which event it is. Do we know here that it's the key or preview? I don't think we have any information.
Yeah, this just registers the native event. Yeah. So it doesn't, it cannot differentiate between those two. But we need just one registration because both of these have to go through the same event arcs and same handled properties. So it's very tricky.
Yeah. I mean, this completely disregards our managed side. This is strictly native only, and we have no metadata or information about what event is actually on top, what handler is on top of this, whether it's preview or not. So I guess I think that we don't have a way to touch this.
Okay.
Unless like we create a new one.
Like my thinking is now to go back. Let's go back to the place where we register things, and let's see what actually. Where is it actually called? If you go back one more to the place where we call raise event thing. Yeah, this one. So what does actually call this method?
It's
like not this, but the whole add key handler method, like this containing method. If you go up a little bit, scroll up a little bit. So there are two references to this partial add key handler. What is actually the thing that calls this? So this is
okay. This is the partial, just a placeholder, and I don't know. It doesn't look like anyone is calling this method.
But the first one is.
This is just a partial.
It's a partial, but the other reference was probably the.
It's the both two references. One is this implementation, the empty one, and one is the actual one that we saw, the actual implementation.
That's the one.
It's just the two of them.
Huh.
We don't see who is calling it. Yeah.
Why not? Huh. So
who is invoking this?
So it seems like it's generated somewhere. Add key handler. Interesting. It has to be called somewhere.
Yeah. Match case, match whole word. Let's see. It could be in the global Uno.ui.
I see it now.
Yeah. Okay. Here we have something. Yeah. Okay.
Here it is. All right.
Yeah. Two references is a little funny here.
So we have to.
Yeah. Okay. It looks like from here that this is the only place it's called. In our WASM project. So you want to go upwards and see who else, like you want to see the source of the place?
Yeah, maybe.
I guess it comes from the XAML. Like from the XAML or it probably comes from the XAML, either from the XAML or if you do something like like add handler, like this text box.
Yeah, that's basically this guy, just a different.
Yeah, but I mean like not C#, not this guy. When you do add handler and you do key up event and then you specify the handler. Yeah, you see it's the same signature.
Yeah.
Handles count. This is it. So it's probably like for serving XAML.
Wow, that's interesting. But if you attach a handler like the normal way, like adding an event handler, it still probably gets to this point somehow. What are the references of this? Insert handler. Okay. And it's the first event handler.
This has a lot of references. Oh, okay. Yeah, here it is. Here it is. We're not far. We're not far. So it's actually right here. Yeah. So when we have this, or when we have add handler, either way, even if you do like this guy is this guy is the plus equal the native C#.
So it's calling the add handler.
Yeah, it's going down to the add handler method, which is here. Yeah, okay, so anyway, we're going to end up being here.
And just for the fun of it, what does the remove handler do? Just so we see what's the other side of things.
Yeah. Event handler store, which is interesting to see. Matching handler, delegate equals our handler, there is delegate. All right. So when we are registering, it looks like we are adding it as a routed event handler info structure. Let's go back to the add handler, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a good idea. So.
Where was it? Okay, so here's where it's all happening. This is like the entry point, right? No, add handler is the entry point.
That's the entry point. And
where is insert? So add handler is the entry point. When does it go to the insert handler?
Yeah, so
let's follow up. Let's see how it goes. Like what's the find or create. Yeah, okay. So that's a list of routed event handler info. Let's have a look at what this guy looks like. Yeah. It has the handler, which is the delegate, and a little piece of information.
I was just probably saying that if it's that says if it's handled, if it respects the handled flag. So it says if this probably means that if you say handled events 2 equals true, then it will be fired even if someone else already handled.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's important to know, actually. I think it's important to know. We're going to have to take note of it for later, because when we come back from the first event, we're going to have to know about it. So I'm curious to see if the preview key event has a true value here or still false.
I think it's going to be still false because it's it's not implemented. It's going to be here.
Oh, right. Yeah.
You will have to move it from the generated code there.
So should we do it now?
Yeah, we can probably do it. There's no harm done. So let's go to the generated code. It's in the generated folder. There is Windows UI XAML. In the not here, but in here there is generated, and here you find Windows UI XAML controls. One more, you were in the XAML online. Oh, it's in XAML. Okay, so there's.
I don't know. I mean, just,
yeah, you're right. You're right.
Here.
There is UI element somewhere.
I can actually find it. Like this. If I do Shift F12.
Like the definition for this one is only here, but if you search for preview key down, then it's gonna be.
Yeah. Okay. Right.
That's gonna be the one. Preview key down. Yeah. So that should take us there. Yeah. And there's this, and then there is also the preview key down event and preview key up event. That's a routed event.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. So we just take these two, copy them. Yeah, just and then remove the WebAssembly mark from not implemented attribute. There is in both cases a not implemented attribute, and there is WebAssembly as well.
This is the params.
Once again, please.
This is param. This is
yeah, like params array.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. And as well here there is WebAssembly.
Okay. Let's see if it's here. Preview.
Yeah.
Preview. Ouch.
Oh, yeah, just do one step back, undo, and it's fine.
No, I have a problem.
And it always happens. You don't have to.
No, you saw what happened? It's auto formatting when I'm saving.
Doing for me as well. Oh, on save?
Yeah, it's one of the settings.
I see.
Format document on save.
Oh, okay.
Move and sort using on save. I hope I didn't screw up. Meanwhile, I should actually check now when I still can.
Because it's gonna remove. It's gonna remove not only usings for this platform but for the other ones too. That's right.
Maybe, and yeah, and not only, but it's also gonna refactor the entire file.
Oh.
Yeah, it's gonna break the code. It's gonna remove those namespaces.
Yeah. But it seems like this went well. There's no other changes.
Yeah. Okay. We have all those
fine.
Unused namespaces.
That's probably a little bit too different.
Put it all back. I'm gonna have a few errors now, maybe.
Oh, you can fix those.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, I should ignore this. Should ignore it. Maybe I'm gonna do it using the exclude because I don't want to change my git ignore. I forgot. Oh yeah, here it is. I'm not sure this is the right syntax. Let me see.
What are you trying to change?
I'm trying to remove this from the changed files. I want to ignore it.
Don't ignore it because it's part of the main. Just don't commit it when you do some commits. I would just leave it there like this.
Yeah. No, I want to ignore it just for myself. This is not the git ignore file. This
All
is
right.
the
Oh, sorry.
Maybe, just so I don't forget.
All right.
And I end up committing it.
All right. I actually don't know the syntax for that.
It's like a normal git ignore file. It's the same syntax. It just it doesn't seem. Do you know what's the git command for?
I actually don't know if Visual Studio does respect this exclude or doesn't.
As far as I remember, it does. But where do you exclude files? Where is the place where you exclude? Because I remembered that there was an exclude option here. And what I usually did is I excluded, and then I go to the git ignore, and I see the generated ignore line, and I copy it to this file. So the git ignore itself doesn't get changed. Okay, let's leave it as it is now.
Oh, it's probably not accidentally going to commit it.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, and let's go.
So now let's implement those events.
Yeah.
So we should put them here. What do you say? Like,
yeah,
above this and above that?
Above and above for the preview and preview down and preview up.
Is this also part of the UWP? Yes, right?
Yeah, I'm sure it must be.
Yeah. Let me try to save. I hope it didn't. Which file? Routed events. I want to make sure that it didn't remove any namespaces or. What is this? Why do we need this?
Huh?
Yeah, okay. At least I know it doesn't format my document or remove my namespaces. Okay. I hate when it selects the entire document. Key down.
This one. Nice.
Okay.
Right. So.
And we have another thing, the event itself.
The event itself, yes. I think the events, like, there is some specific new keyword for macOS, but we don't need it here because macOS doesn't have preview key down, preview key up, so we can just have the simple event there.
Right, nice. Good catch.
Okay. So there we have it. So that's a start.
Yep.
My guess is now it will actually do two right things twice, or trigger the events twice.
I am not sure it will attempt to insert twice, but it won't actually add it twice because it looks like there is. So here the two handlers will be added. Find or create. Yeah, no, that's nothing.
Yeah,
that's just the first
storage.
Yeah. Add handler. Add key handler.
So
Has flag.
Yeah, I think the problem will come here where we have the register event handler, and it's gonna register just one of those, not two of those.
Yeah, and it's gonna ignore the other one.
Yeah, it's gonna ignore the other one, and
it's gonna ignore the other one here.
Yeah.
Because later on it checks if key down is registered, like here.
Right.
So when it's gonna come here, event name, it's gonna see that it exists, and this whole block will be ignored.
Yeah. Well, what we could do, let's go back one step. Like the problem is in the race event call, because there is gonna be just one of those, not two. But what if we made some kind of list, or I don't know, list or array of those which were already registered, so that we make sure to raise both of them when they are.
You mean one by one?
One by one, but they have to
only
be
if there is a handler.
Yes, but
that's a good idea.
Yeah, but they have to be in the race event. So
over here it looks like it's ignored altogether if the event name exists. So what does registration stand for? Oh, it's an event registration. So interestingly, the event registration only includes the native name.
Right. That's
handler. Registration and handler. So it assumes that the event on the native side is the same as the client side. But what we don't want to do here is have registration.add handler, where handler can be both key up and preview key up.
It actually registers the handler. It will register both the handlers, but we need to make sure it registers just the preview one, because the.
You mean that if there is a handler,
you know what I mean? When we subscribe to both the events, and we register first the key down and then the preview key down, then it will actually trigger first the key down and then preview key down, which is not gonna work. So we have to make like a priority.
But I'm still not there. I'm still not figuring out, because this prevents from the event handler to be added to our registration at all.
Like the native event is not registered twice, but the managed handler down there on the lines 176 is registered for both.
Right. Oh, okay.
So the managed side is okay, like it registers both of these,
right.
But the native one is registered only once.
Okay. So, okay. What happens when the event is actually raised? Where is the point where Maybe it's this
that was in
dispatch
the
event.
this dispatch that. Yeah, so let's go to the internal dispatch event. Maybe that's the one, and there's gonna be again dispatch. It's just some gibberish, but dispatch is
that's the registration. Okay, nice. This is like the event registration. Yeah, event registration. Nice. So we can see here, event registration. We have all the handlers here. We have access to all the handlers. So over here we can say if what happened? If this dot if handlers of our current event has, I'll just be pseudo, just like express myself verbally.
That's fine.
So if our handlers has a preview event of our current event, right? Then we're gonna raise our preview if it has any handlers, and then gonna continue if it's handled or not. Like over here, for each handler in invocation list. So in our case, we're gonna have to do it a little bit differently, because here it goes invocation list. It goes it makes an iteration in index order.
Yeah.
What we're gonna have to do is like make maybe a group it, or like split it into two blocks for preview handlers and for regular handlers, and then loop through them.
I've just have a suggestion from the chat. If we couldn't just pass intermediate delegate to the JS event, which will handle both the preview and the normal key events instead of using grace events. But I think we cannot do that because we don't have control over the JavaScript part of things.
I'm also thinking another issue that might arise if we do it, because what if the client side is not really accurate and it's gonna mess up our events, and what we're gonna end up is having our preview event after the actual down event back to us. What if the time it processes our events is not accurate? I don't know if it's safe to rely on the native side. I mean, during the transaction of the events, something may I don't know. I'm thinking.
I think it's.
I don't know if it's necessary.
This part is fine, I think, but the more problematic is that the preview. That we cannot easily inject any code into the JavaScript side, and if we did, we would have to, implement this whole bubbling and tunneling thing manually, which would be overkill. I would like to avoid that by keeping it all in the managed code, ideally.
Yeah. I mean, if the JavaScript would offer us with a preview key up and a preview key down event, then it would make sense, maybe.
This is interesting. There is the return true that will call prevent default in JS to prevent native bubbling. Right? That's there. And I'm thinking, have we tested the JavaScript side of things if we can prevent the key down from happening? We haven't tested that yet, right?
Yeah, it's interesting. You mean I just want to confirm that I understand what you're saying. You mean that when I press a button and I handle the preview, the key down event,
if you call
it shouldn't emit any characters to the input. Yes.
That's what I mean.
You want to test it?
Yes, ideally, let's test it, because that's just a sanity check that we are doing.
Yeah. Okay. How do we do this? In the samples? Want to change the sample app?
Maybe let's do it in the JS Fiddle website. We'll do it just simply in JavaScript first, just to see if we do it in JavaScript, it works.
Yeah. Okay.
So here we have this, and you np down. Yeah.
Oh, I forgot how to write JavaScript.
You don't have to put the arguments there, or do you? I'm not sure.
I don't remember how to write JavaScript. Forget it. So rusted. I didn't write JavaScript in probably half a year, maybe more. Oh yeah, I see. We don't need this. Right? Why is he angry? Okay. What is the handled looking like in JavaScript? Let's see how they do it. Prevent default.
As prevent default, there is also some stop propagation.
What's like here?
Prevent default.
On key press, prevent default.
Right. I actually don't know how to pass the event.
Yeah, it's the event itself. Oh, event.
But you have
event
to. You probably have to attach it not in HTML but in JavaScript itself.
But that's jQuery. I don't know. I'm probably looking at the wrong example.
That's JavaScript, so tricky.
It's jQuery. Following.
So we have document.
Okay. On key down. On key down. Key down. Can that? Where is the source event?
Oh.
Document WebGL.
Events listener.
Okay. Key down. How do you attach it from HTML? Yeah, we can do it like we can like do it like this.
Key down. I'm trying it on my side as well. Okay. Oh, that's interesting. That's interesting, actually. Let's see if you have the same result. Okay. If you run this now,
stop propagation.
it's
Yeah, I won't do it. I won't do it because in Uno they use prevent default.
Yeah.
But it's interesting to know that it exists.
Yeah, both
Okay.
are there. Let's try run, and let's see what happens. Huh. Can you check the console if there are no errors? Because it's... Oh, you have a different name. You have this dot on key down, and the method is key down, just key down.
Oh.
Here, yeah. Key down, yeah. That should be it. Right.
So it's working.
So
because
this
I'm typing text now.
Okay,
and we don't see the text here.
I'm confused now then, because can you create a new Uno Platform application, like in a different Visual Studio window? Because I want to try, because this seems like if they do a prevent default on key down, then it would have the behavior of preview key down. Right? Because if we prevent, if they call prevent default for key down, then it will basically yeah, that seems like it, because as we see now, if you do prevent default in key down in JavaScript side, it will stop the event from processing.
But you know what the problem that in UWP app that we had before, that it's only for the preview key down that prevents the default, but the actual key down event I think doesn't prevent the default, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It seems like that could be a bug actually. That in case of WebAssembly Uno, it does prevent the key down from happening.
Oh yeah,
that's what I mean.
Sorry, I wasn't following you.
Yeah, just keep there the UWP so that we can compare.
Oh, okay.
That's gonna be useful just to confirm what we see. So let's go into the shared project. You can maybe copy the previous project we had if you have it somewhere.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Was here now? Yep.
This is a weird bug. That's a weird bug in Visual Studio. You can right click on the file and open if, yeah, exactly. As XAML editor is XML editor, XML. Yeah, XAML is broken. This is there for a while now. I'm not sure why they didn't fix it yet. Everyone is bugging Microsoft to fix this. All right. Yeah, we'll have to remove the preview key up and key down.
Just gonna copy it all because otherwise it's gonna complain about missing handlers.
Yeah.
I just prefer it to be just quiet and let me concentrate on what I want to do.
Yeah, I think it's fine. Just replace the Microsoft UI with Windows UI. Yeah, because we have now not Microsoft UI but Windows UI. Yeah, good. All right. Let's try to run it. Maybe it's gonna work. This is fine. This is just.
I'm gonna start with the UWP maybe just for a sec.
That's safer. Set a startup. So let's see. Yeah, you have to switch to from any CPU to x86 on the yeah. All right, let's see what happens.
Oh yeah, no, I thought for a minute it was the WASM.
Right, so we are good. This is what we had. And do we handle something there?
No.
Not yet.
I think so. I think we don't. Hey, we do.
PreviewKeyUp.
No, but yeah, but it's the key up.
Ah, it's fine.
So let's handle the key down, right? That's what we want to do.
Yes. And that should, on UWP, it should allow us to enter things still. So if we can...
I'm going to handle it. I'm going to keep the log.
Uh-huh.
And then we're going to see that... One minute. I don't hear you loud enough.
Don't hear me loud enough. Hello, hello. Not sure why, but...
Yeah, maybe that's the reason.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, that's better now.
All right. So... Okay, let's launch it in UWP to confirm that we...
Right, so we'll log in, but what we want to see is that the character is not emitted to the text box here.
And
we want to check whether it is or not.
In UWP, it should be. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's good. And now what's with a WebAssembly? Now I'm interested what's gonna happen. My guess it's not gonna be output.
Right. Why? Because we're preventing defaults anyway,
right.
Whenever it's handled.
Right.
Yeah.
That's my guess. Here we go. Oh.
So we have to find that logic.
Why is it working?
Yeah, we have to find where is the place.
Why is it working?
Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah. There's definitely a place where it differentiates between the two. And...
Huh. Well, I'm really surprised about this.
Is this the first entry point, the dispatch?
Not the first one.
Let's look at the first entry point. Internal dispatch event. This is which guy is which method is WASM calling in our code?
One up. It's one before this. It should be in the UI element registration. If you go down, yeah, UI element event registration. Something from this file is calling this.
I don't follow.
If you go to the 5 references, there's the 5th one of this. If you go to references of this method, there is this one. It should be this one. Oh, it froze.
Yeah. Okay. Let's wait until he wakes up. Bye-bye. You know what? I'm going to take a break. A minute. 2 minutes.
Right.
Is that okay?
Yeah, I have still 10 minutes, I think, before I need to leave. So.
Should I stick here for another 10 minutes?
Well, we can finish up in those 10 minutes, probably.
Yeah.
At least, we learned a lot.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
And we did half the job. We did the half significant part.
Well, we now know where things are, at least.
Yeah.
that's important, and that is
Well, it's totally stuck.
seems so. Internally, I'm still surprised why it did input those letters into the text box.
Mm-hmm.
That still seems surprising to me. Like, it does call the prevent default, but so there must be some trick about this.
Mm-hmm. There must be some logic that we missed on the way that actually checks and calls prevent defaults only when we actually wanted to.
Right.
Jerome did take care of it. This guy doesn't miss a thing.
Yeah, right. He's very good.
Oh, yeah.
But I think this particular part was probably implemented by David Ray, who is in charge of input events.
Mm.
That's my guess. I'm not attributing to anyone, but I think he's in.
They're all great.
He's responsible for this. Yeah, it's super complicated, and there are people in the team responsible for specific scopes of the solution, because I cannot imagine one person can encompass everything, because it's huge.
Yeah.
Super huge.
So let's go back a little bit where we were.
Yeah.
Let's wait until all references load up.
Like, this is complicated, but if you check, for example, the dependency object and dependency properties implementation, it's even more complicated.
Yeah.
Super complex.
Schedulers and
then
dispatcher.
you have and then styling. You know, the resources and styling setters and so on. It's super complex there.
Yeah.
And data binding. Oh. So many places I haven't even seen yet, and I'm looking in the code like for 1.5 years already. Right. So, it freezes again. So
no way.
So, some kind of very special method.
Let's remember, it's line 220.
220, yeah. So it's just below the scroll.
Yeah, that's a very funny bug.
Oh.
It's completely frozen. You see, I'm clicking with my mouse.
That's
the
interesting.
Guy just went dead.
It's super weird, and just for this specific one method.
Yeah, and it could be the scroll, maybe it could be the scrolling.
Maybe
It just went into a hard comment.
Like, it's something you do often. Like, I would expect scroll to work. Super weird. Well, let's try again. 220 it was. So this time we will not wait for it. Oh.
For some reason, I can't see you, you know?
You cannot see me?
I cannot.
Well, we have hidden the
No,
camera.
I have my phone for the video input.
Huh, that's weird.
Can see you on my phone. I only see your icon for some reason.
That's weird.
Oh,
I have the camera on. So.
Yeah, it looks like Teams is only broadcasting the video to one device. I'm actually connected with 2 devices, and I have here on my desktop. So it probably prevents
Possibly.
me from seeing you also there. Okay, this is it.
Yeah, and the dispatch event is called from JavaScript directly. That's
okay. Amazing.
All right. And it seems like it's returning the result to JavaScript.
Yeah. Let's see where this is happening. Like prevent defaults. So if handler is raw event handler. Raw event handler. UI element string payload load. Return true. So true return true will call
Prevent
inject.
default.
Yeah. That means also here, I guess.
And so if you go to the window manager TS file, like to the TypeScript, just to see what the TypeScript part does. But we were looking at it before, so it's. Oh, so it's it's not preventing default. It's stopping propagation. You see, there is stop propagation. That's the trick.
Wow.
So the comment in the class was wrong. It was saying it's preventing default, but not.
Should we change it?
Yeah, probably. That's something we can definitely commit today, because that's
default. There is prevent default here.
But
too,
that's a different
but it's
thing.
Something for something else.
Yeah. So So I mean, as to have one thing that we finished today, then that could be this, because this is important.
Yeah.
And it's definitely
Where was it?
not correct, you know. So
where was it?
Search for stop propagation.
I searched and it didn't find
Propa.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Not this one. Different one.
Yeah, it's the same name.
This is for mouse or something.
This is it.
Yeah,
Register event on
yeah.
terminal.
Okay.
No way.
This.
Oh, okay.
This
Hey.
file is somehow cursed.
It's back to life.
Okay, we can have this like the big finding today.
Yeah, we're gonna have to continue. I mean, I'm not gonna be able to sleep like that now.
So
we're going to continue this, aren't we?
It seems we'll need like multiple states for the return type. Not only stop propagation, but also to mark it as prevent default. Right? Because stop propagation just says not to bubble, but we will need to also prevent the event from finishing.
I don't know. Maybe stop propagation also infers prevent defaults, because
no, actually I tried
we
it
saw
here.
that the character.
But I tried it here locally, and it seems like it doesn't. If you go to the JS fiddle, if you have it open still in the browser, it seems to me that it doesn't. If you do instead the stop propagation, yeah, it actually lets you input, but prevents the bubbling only. So we will need a flag to say if we stop propagation or stop the current event itself. So that's gonna be interesting.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Huh.
So should I make a commit for this?
Yeah, you can definitely make a commit for this documentation change, because it's definitely useful.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do we call our branch?
We usually use the name def / your name, or four parts of your name, usually 4 letters. Yeah, and some name of that's appropriate. So I would say
this maybe.
yeah.
Few key events. Edit WASM.
Make sure not to commit the global JSON file.
Thank you for the reminder. I probably would if you wouldn't remind me.
Yeah, just stage the rest and yeah. Good. Good.
Edit WASM placeholders. Yeah, okay, that's good enough. I mean, we anyway gonna squash this and gonna amend it.
Yeah. It should be fine. All right. So that's a good start, I think.
Okay. Yep. Definitely.
A lot of revelations. Good.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Shimmy.
That was fun.
Yeah. We learned a lot.
Yeah. Definitely.
All right.
So bye, everyone. Thank you so much, Martin.
Have a great day, the rest of your day, and see you soon.
Yeah. We have to now.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.